Hi guys, it's Raven Scry. Last year I did some readings on the needle. Now I use the wording needle so it doesn't create problems on YouTube because of certain keywords that get flagged around this issue. So if it seems weird or cryptic, I feel as though you should understand what we're referring to here. I just don't want to create negative attention to the video. Okay, so the reason that I did those videos was due to a session that I did with another facilitator and friend where I was in an expanded state of consciousness on this journey, and I was suddenly interrupted by a stabbing pain in my arm, and Spirit was warning me about the needle. Now, I wasn't at that time. This was before it had all kind of rolled out, and I kind of wasn't that connected, or I didn't really care about it. I didn't really give it much thought, but with the way that they came in with this information and warning through this journey, I felt like I had to listen. So since then, I'm aware of how much chaos this has caused for so many of the collective, and the problems with health conditions and deaths being brought about, particularly with people who have had many of these needles. And it seems the more times, the more complications. So I felt to check in with this topic again, and anything that Spirit wishes to show or share about it or the effects that it's had. Now, I'm going to work with Spirit in a journey format and share the experience with you. So it's going to be like I'm experiencing it in person, but I've edited a little bit so there's not spaces in between, so it's easier for your ear. So enjoy. So as I relax and expand my consciousness now, as soon as I expand, I begin to feel a sniffly nose, a sense of flu virus. And I did sneeze, but I cut that out because I didn't want to blow your ear holes out from it coming through the microphone. So I'm also sensing this feeling of being cold. I feel cold, like I'm huddling over, and I'm trying to keep warm, and it's like there's this sickness feeling here. And I'm seeing an image of a red nose, someone who's quite sick. Now, as I ask, why am I being shown this? I hear it all starts here, but it can get much worse than this. In future months, we're going to see developments and changes of the effects that they have caused. So I'm being taken to an image of someone's throat, and I can see some kind of metal around their throat. Now, as I connect deeper, it's like the metal feeling in the throat is expanding out in some sort of a link or connection to something else. Now I feel all this throat energy. My throat feels quite restricted, and I'm also becoming aware of connection to thyroid and metal, and also water and drinking water. Now I ask, how is the drinking water connected? And I hear metals in the water. There's a lot of metal in the water. And it's about systems being affected, like a water system is being affected. Different fields of systems are being affected in some way. And again, there's this connection to thyroid, connection to the water and community, and this level of restriction. Now I ask, how is this connected to the effects of the needle? And I hear current theme to strengthen through the water. I ask, help me to understand strengthen through the water. It's like there is metals in the water, and it feels almost magnetic, and it's pulling from my throat chakra. Thyroid energy, it's like I can't swallow properly. This thyroid throat restriction. I can't drink, I can't swallow, but there's some connection to the water that keeps coming in. Now I ask, how is the water connected to the needle? And I hear it's a flow-on effect from these needles being introduced. It's now in the water. It's like it's changing things in the water, changing the ecology of how things were. It's like something along the chain has been changed due to the needle being introduced. And I ask, well, how is the change affecting the water? And I hear it's changing the molecular structure of the water. It's causing a lot of black energy. That's how it's being shown to me. It feels like dead energy. It's like nothing can live there. It's like it's killing what was previously alive in the water. Now, my mind's being taken to milk, and milk being homogenized. It's like burning out good bacteria, and just the process of homogenization of milk in some way, connecting here as an example of the effect that's taking place in the water and the change to the molecular structure of the water. Now I'm hearing not to be drinking the water. It's almost like it's causing extra suffering. Like a domino effect connected to immunity, it's adding to the problem, the toxicity levels. And I ask, if it's affecting toxicity levels, what should we do? Is it affecting water worldwide? And I hear yes. Particularly in certain countries, it's more condensed. Higher populations equal higher density, higher concentration, more toxicity in the water. Now I ask, what is a safe way to hydrate and drink water? Now I'm hearing filtration is safe, but also frequency within the water to keep it alive on some level, because it's like parts of the water and the molecular structures of the water are dying and becoming imbalanced and more concentrated with toxicity. And so if we are drinking that, particularly if we've had needles, it's going to bring a cascade of health problems, connecting it into the thyroid again, and metallic connection here. If we are to filtrate the water, this will help. And connection to frequency and putting frequency into the water to keep it alive. Now I'm feeling this strange feeling in my head, a very weird, dizzy feeling that's coming in. And I ask, well, help me to understand what this feeling is about. And they're connecting it to memory also. It's like memory is going strange, memory loss, memory function, connection to metals, and I'm feeling Alzheimer's in connection here. It's making me feel like there's a lost space and lost time, a loss of orientation. Now I ask, so if we can keep the energy alive with frequency and filtration, will this be enough? And I'm hearing, yes, it will. It'll keep a certain stability, a sense of level and a sense of balance to the water. And I ask, help me to understand more about the frequency and how to implement it. Now I'm hearing strong levels of grounded, balanced earth creation frequency, in particular a frequency that I'm familiar with. It's a 136.1 hertz, which is an Om frequency. And I ask, is this the frequency to be given to bring balance to the water? And they're saying yes, and they show me tuning forks, frequency tuning forks, with the frequency 136.1 hertz of the Om frequency, chiming the fork and putting it onto the surface of whatever the water's in. So it's like if you've got a glass of water, you chime this fork and then put the stem onto the glass to bring this frequency into the water, and this can support the water's life force, and it stabilizes it to some degree. Now, I ask anything else to be shared here. They're speaking about foundational energy and grounded earth energy, and it being the most important time to use that frequency, particularly that there's been so much toxicity that's been introduced into the water systems. There's a level of degradation or death in the water, so the need to revitalize the structure of the water by using filtration, using frequency, and being mindful not to just drink any water. Okay, I'm going to leave this journey here, returning back into my body. Upon reflection of the frequency that was brought about in this journey, the 136.1 hertz, which is the Om frequency. You can get individual tuning forks with that frequency. Now, I've added a link below. If you'd like to follow that, it will take you straight there to buy one if you would like to do that. But that could be expensive depending on who you are and what you feel. Like if you resonate to do it that way, by all means. I think they're around $60 for one fork. But I'd also like to put it to you to see if you'd like me to create a water audio frequency file to download, and whether you'd enjoy that, whether you feel you get something from that, and perhaps for a donation, if you'd like to download it, which may be easier for some of you and cheaper also. Just let me know in the comments down below if you'd be interested in that, if you'd be interested in me putting time in to do that for you guys. If not, just head to the tuning forks if you resonate. Now, if you don't resonate, that's totally fine too. If you've got any thoughts or feelings or anything that's come through as you've listened, please pop it in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Raven Scry signing off.